stretched out to the middle. Back to
broke it up. There's a shot. They score! They score! Gerardo forwards.
Good afternoon and welcome to Thunderbird Stadium, David Sidhu Field, the campus of the University of British Columbia at Point Grey. I am Marcus Fitzgerald, joined alongside Mark Rogers. USL action featuring two teams, not only two of the best in the Western Conference, Mark, but two of the best in the USL all season long to this point. Vancouver Whitecaps FC2 against LA Galaxy 2. Star power on both sides, offense on both sides. Should be a good one this afternoon.
Yeah, it's always nice to see when both almost like reserve type environments between LA Galaxy and Portland has one, of course Seattle has one, but you have to look at Caden Chung, another one of the Academy products that I alluded to, and you have to look at this spin move from last week that put him in USL Team of the Week.
That's some real video game stuff right here.
It is, and this is the type of experience that the game is going to provide for the not just the viewers but also the people in the stadium. Is a bunch of young talent from both sides showing their stuff, so hopefully developing into a first-team player down the road at the MLS level.
And the other side, on the LA Galaxy 2 side, Mark, as well, player to watch, Jose Villarreal, who's going to be in the action today. Yeah,
plenty of experience for a young man. He's played at the U.S. international level at U18, U20, and U23. He's also had 51 first-team appearances. For a young guy, that's pretty impressive. Whitecaps fans will remember him from scoring a cracking goal against Whitecaps 2 down at the StubHub Center. He's going to be one that the Caps will have to keep their eye on, mostly because their leading scorer, Jack McBean, is not with the team here. He's leading the league in scoring with 9 goals, so we'll be relying heavily on Jose Villarreal to provide some attacking punch.
And the Whitecaps have some players who are not here today. They're with U23 Team Canada, so the starting 11, Mark, looks a little bit different this afternoon.
It does, but all these guys in the starting 11 have provided fantastic performances for Alan Koch so far this year. Starting with the boy from Victoria and Sean Melvin, he'll get another opportunity to come back into the side. We alluded to Caden Chung and his performances for such a young guy. He's doing very well at this level. But there's also guys in the team that have had opportunities at the MLS level, and one of which is Marco Bustos, the number 10. He's very good at playing in small spaces. Definitely one to keep your eye on.
Whitecaps FC2 coming off a win last week over Tulsa, and we take a look at the starting 11 for LA Galaxy 2.
Yeah, lots of academy products in that team as well. You have to look no further than Oscar Soto. He's played at the right back. I had an opportunity to talk to Joe Totino, the voice of LA Galaxy, over the last few weeks, and he speaks very highly of the young man. He's one that they've highlighted as making that transition to the MLS level. So he's one to keep your eye on. And then up front, Jose Villarreal working alongside another young player, number 8 or an 18-year-old in Zubac up front.
And the Whitecaps FC2 as well, the last unbeaten team in USL this season. So they're playing at home. They've got a good crowd here so far based on what we've seen here at UBC. But unbeaten, playing at home, want to give the crowd a good show.
Yeah, I mean, this is the LA Galaxy will want to get a little bit of revenge based on the fact they're up 2-0 in the last game down at the StubHub Center. The Caps fought back to draw that game 2-2. And the LA Galaxy are coming off their first loss of the season as well, a 2-0 loss at Sacramento Republic. So they'll be wanting to right the ship. Both teams near the top of the Western Conference.
We will pause for the national anthem.
Oh, say can you see by the early light what so proudly we hailed, and the twilight
Anthems in the books at UBC. Marcus Fitzgerald, Mark Rogers with you, bringing you USL action from David Sidhu Field. Two of the best teams in the Western Conference. Mark, the Whitecaps coming in third, 14 points entering play today, and the Galaxy top of the table in the Western Conference at 16 points, but that's why they play the games. I can sit here and read the standings all afternoon long, but these two teams have to play, and we're excited to see them play.
Yeah, and the LA Galaxy have played a lot of games in the recent couple weeks, and have played a couple more games the Whitecaps up to this date. Both teams will definitely, especially the Whitecaps at home, will be wanting to get all 3 points today, but they're in for a tough test. This LA Galaxy 2 team played in the final last year for a reason. Although they didn't win the cup last season, pretty amazing the fact that so many young players are coming through and able to produce at a professional level despite their age. Caps are no different. They've averaged an age of about 20.5 years so far this season. They're still able to produce some great results. Last one, especially at home against Tulsa, fighting back from deficit twice to win the game at the end 3-2. So the Caps will be coming into this game really high on confidence, and you'll see a bit of a contrast as well in the styles of play.
And for fans tuning in at whitecapsfc2.com and on YouTube and coming to the stadium maybe for the first time today, they see, okay, Whitecaps FC2, LA Galaxy 2, that means there's going to be high-end skill and talent on both sides of the ball, because you would think the success at this level sort of lends itself to the success at the MLS level as well.
Absolutely. Depth of squads will produce good players at the MLS level, and this is why you have this environment. It's to develop the young players, but also give minutes to some of the first-team guys that are either coming back from injury or not getting minutes at the MLS level. Today's two teams are out, that have been put out are quite young teams, and should be exciting. They're going to be wanting to prove themselves at this level, but hoping to get that transition to the first team. But the contrast is really only in formation. Both teams will want to keep the ball. They pride themselves on that. Caps are more of a counter-attacking team. LA Galaxy, although they play in a 4-4-2, love to keep possession of the ball. So it should be an easy on the eye game. Watch for the Galaxy, especially in wide areas. They like to bring both their wide players a little bit more narrow. A bit of a less traditional look to an old school 4-4-2. But it shapes up to be a really good game today, Marcus.
And you and I were joking a little bit about the soccer experience between the two of us. Yourself, a former Canadian national, one end of the spectrum, and then myself, 2 years, Port Coquitlam minor soccer between the ages of 5 and 7. Both ends of the spectrum are covered today, Mark.
Well, you got but you got all the professionalism. I'm just hanging in there.
Oh, man. Filling in for Brendan Batchelor, by the way. I should point out, Batch, if you're watching, how's it going? Big shoes to fill, of course, I should point out. As we get set, see these two clubs face off. Whitecaps FC 2, LA Galaxy 2. Again, as I mentioned, third in the West right now, Vancouver is. LA coming in, top of the table with 16 points. The Galaxy in blue with gold trim. Whitecaps, the familiar white with the blue trim. And you take a look at head coach Alan Koch, and you had a chance to speak with Alan before the game, Mark, and I know that he's certainly looking forward to this one as well.
Yeah, Alan is excited for this game, and he's in a confident mood. They've had a fantastic start to the season here in Vancouver, and he just alluded to the fact that LA Galaxy is always an exciting team to play against. They play a great style of football, young, exciting team, so something to be excited for from both sides.
And the Whitecaps will control as we begin play. And David Sidhu Field, UBC, Marcus Fitzgerald, Mark Rogers with you. Long ball up ahead. Rolling after that one was Alphonso Davies, and that rolls out of play.
Yeah, the 15-year-old showing a little bit of naivety there to start the game, but I tell you what, the manager won't be disappointed with that. We talked about Oscar Sordo at the beginning of the game and how his trajectory is very steep. Young Mr. Davies is just reminding him that he's going to be in for a tougher test than he might expect from a 15-year-old.
Near the middle of the park, Davies now on the run once again on the left side. Sends it on the cross and knocked out of play again. So Davies right off the hop here, Mark.
Well, I tell you what, he's going to want to impose himself on Sorto. Sorto is very good at getting forward. One little bit of a question mark on him defensively. You can see there a little 1-2. He manages to get in behind of Sorto. And the more tracking back Sorto will have to do, it's almost wasted energy for such a good attacking player at the right back position.
First corner opportunity of the afternoon for the Caps. Long cross. And kept in play. Side, another opportunity in danger, and Davies again. Gets the right foot on one, and now the Galaxy will have a chance to move it out towards midfield.
The last game against Tulsa, one of the criticisms of young Mr. Bustos was the quality of his serve. And both the corner and then the cross right after were very good, put into very dangerous areas.
Marco Bustos wearing number 32. And now up ahead could be another opportunity here, far right side. On the cross right in front, and the Whitecaps are on the board early on. That's the captain, Kyle Gregg. No stranger to finding the back of the net, Mark.
Well, it all starts with Marco Bustos. He looks right at it today. He comes into a wide area, gets on the ball. What a fantastic little ball in behind of their defense. Again, the guy we highlighted pregame, Caden Chung, doesn't let Gregg down. Kyle Gregg is off to a fantastic start here as a Whitecap, by the way. That's his 6th goal so far, providing a lot of maturity up front in such a young team. And that one really was laid on a silver plate for him, and he didn't let his teammates down. And the Caps thoroughly deserve their 1-0 lead, although it's only 3 minutes in. They've looked very sharp so far.
And Gregg finish coming in minute 3, so an excellent start for this Vancouver side. Not only did you have the goal, as we just saw, but Caps have controlled possession on the run, particularly that left side of the field. Caps doing a fine job of getting in behind the LA defense early on. As Brett Levi's plays it across.
The LA Galaxy really struggling in these early going to keep up to this pace of the Whitecaps' possession at the minute. Haven't answered the bell so far in this game and deserve to be 1-0 down.
Levi's in a one-on-one battle by the touchline, being watched there, shoved a little bit, now plays it back to the goalkeeper, Sean Melvin, who has not allowed a goal yet this season.
Not a bad stat, although they have rotated their goalkeepers fairly frequently so far in this early part of this USL season.
And the goalkeeper at the other end, Climon Diop, controls, and he'll send it away for Lee Nishanian. A lot of action in the LA side of the field so far in this opening half, just 4.5 minutes in.
Well, you can see when LA do look to build up from the back, they almost go into a 2-4-4 formation, sending both fullbacks, and thereby pushing both wide players almost high and in line with the 2 strikers. They can work it into the Caps' final third, as it looks like they will do now. They'll have plenty of bodies to attack it.
Might be a opportunity here for the Galaxy. Could be their best of the afternoon so far, but a nice defensive play. And a whistle and the flag goes up.
Looks as though the linesman put his flag up for an offside, but
Caps will have possession. Nice play by Brett Levi's, though, defensively.
yeah, I mean, it's probably his 3rd or 4th game as a left back so far in his life. Started up to this point, whether at University of Saskatchewan, he's played in far more attacking roles. But Carl Robinson with the MLS team sees a lot in him as a left back, really looking to develop him, sees a future for him in there. And he's not let him down. Each game he's improved, especially the defensive side of his game. Everybody knows what he can do with the ball at his feet. Very, very lively. It's the defensive side of his game that was a big question mark, but improving game by game in that position.
Well, you saw Levi's in there, Cole Seiler as well, and a collision getting taken down was Oscar Sorzo.
Shows the intent from the Whitecaps to start this game. Yeah, they've been good on the ball, nice and sharp, but they're also getting right stuck in. And you can see Seymour, that's really his role. He'll sit in front of the Whitecaps back four, try and destroy any LA Galaxy possession.
And Vancouver really maintaining possession so far. Out on the run now is Bustos, but a little too far out in front.
If the Caps can win the ball back there, as I alluded to, they send both their fullbacks very high, and they expose themselves a little bit to the counterattack, especially in wide areas. You can see now how many blue shirts are in the Caps' final third. 6 players, very adventurous, and you got to applaud them for that. Creates quite an exciting brand of soccer for the LA Galaxy.
Now Sean Melvin will play this one for Levi's. Brett Levi's wearing number 46, plays it up the left side on the run, but out of the reach of Bustos. And again, Mark, attacking that near side of the field. We've seen a lot of that early on in the first 7 minutes and change.
Well, they've identified that space behind both fullbacks as an area they can expose. And Marco Bustos, his run for the number 10 position there was very clever. Davies managed to drag Sordo out of that space for Marco Bustos to bend his run into. Just it wasn't able to connect, but definitely looking to get on the end of the space in behind of both fullbacks.
And now could be a chance developing here for Davies as he cuts through to the right side. Sends it towards the danger area, but cleared away. Out near the middle of the field, Matthew Baldissimo of Burnaby making his first start this afternoon. Now it's Caden Chung from Port Coquitlam, plays it across, and Davies once again right in the middle of things.
Great cross by Chung. Very well defended by Sordo to put off Davies attacking the back post.
Levi's and Bustos playing a 2-man game. Levi's being watched by a pair of defenders. Dropping it off for Baldissimo. Baldissimo has it knocked away. It'll stay with Vancouver.
I know that Kurt Analfo won't be happy with this type of start. Look quite sleepy so far, the LA Galaxy.
Now it's Bustos. Davies again. One defender to beat. Nice little play in tight. Alfonso still with it, however. Sending it back for Levi's. That's out of play and a whistle.
Looks like Seymour is down. He's taking a bit of a knock to his ankle. Looks like he's gonna need some attention here.
Will. Looks like he's gonna walk this one off. Keep an eye on him.
Well, if he hasn't rolled it, if it's just an impact, those are the ones they sting quite a bit initially, but you can definitely walk it off. The only concern is if he went over on it, how long he'll be able to last, but looks as though he's recovered nicely.
So the captain, Kyle Gregg, the goal scorer for Vancouver Whitecaps FC2. Home side leading by 1 in the 10th minute of play. And of course, you can become a fan of the USL on Facebook for exclusive news and interactive content. Jose Villarreal whistled for the caution there, Mark, one of the players to watch before the game.
Yeah, and
the collision with Seymour there, I believe.
Yeah, it may come from just a tad of frustration. He's in the first 11 or so minutes, he's been starved of service up there.
And this whole LA side, I would imagine, is pretty frustrated. The pitch is tilted so far in favor of Vancouver, but looks as though maybe the Galaxy will have a chance to generate something on the free kick from distance.
Well, it's up to the Caps to continue to take advantage of the slow start by LA. It's just a matter of time. They have enough quality in their team to sort of fight their way back into the game. They'll be looking at this set piece as maybe an opportunity to do that.
And it is Jose Villarreal. Jose puts the left foot on it, knocked away, however. As the Whitecaps snuff out that opportunity, and now Villarreal gets knocked to the turf by Levi's.
Well, it didn't looked fairly innocuous. You see, well, Levi goes through the back, possibly rakes his Achilles a little bit. But Villarreal made the most out of that, that's for sure, to draw the free kick.
And the LA side will certainly take this. Couldn't generate much just a few seconds ago. Another opportunity here. And Sean Melvin will scoop that up and send it away. Bustos out on the run once again. A long ball up ahead. Melvin having to come out to make the play. Looked dangerous there for just a moment.
That's the first time the LA Galaxy really threatened anything in behind. Nice early run by Slager, but Melvin's starting position was absolutely perfect. However, once he gets there, looked a little dodgy on his handling. Possibly set off a little too early and put himself in a difficult spot there. But in the end, no danger, but hearts in throats for some Whitecaps fans, that's for sure.
Yeah, just for a second there. But LA Galaxy 2 struggling for opportunities. That's really, when you think about it, the best one they've had all day, about 13 minutes in. Vancouver off to an excellent start. All things considered in the opening half. A goal from the captain. Kyle Gregg is 6th of the season, coming in minute 3. As Davies gets taken down.
Tell you what, Oscar Sordo is having all sorts of problems with young Mr. Davies so far today. For a 15-year-old, sure, he doesn't look a 15-year-old, but he's been a little bit more quick quick off the mark, a little bit sharper. And he's definitely winning that one-on-one battle so far today. The only threat right now for the Whitecaps is complacency, making sure they don't get lulled to sleep. As we allude to, the Galaxy are struggling, having a little bit of a slow start.
Battle for it now, middle of the field. Will Seymour has a little room. Nice spin move. Bustos, 1-on-2, trying to drop it off for Davies. Davies had that knocked away.
What a great turn by Marco Bustos. Just felt that the minute he made that turn, got the ball out of his feet, as the defender dropped off, maybe an opportunity. It's on his left foot, his favored left foot. Possibly a chance to get a shot away himself. Ooh.
Some of the things these kids, Mark, able to do in space, with speed, with defenders on them, it's highly skilled.
Oh, absolutely, and that's a testament to the work they're doing at the academy level here at the Whitecaps and the residency level. Definitely not something I would have had in my locker when I was a young man, that's for sure. Possibly kicking people would have been more my forte, but sharp turns in tiny areas was not.
Well, Alfonso Davies, how many times have we mentioned his name? He's been a terror so far in this opening half. As the ball is played across to the opposite side of Davies now. Baldissimo with it.
You guys are pretty shit, LA. Seriously.
Defender on, worked it through.
Oh, great little 1-2.
Could be a chance right in tight and back of the net. Vancouver goes up by 2.
And look again, where does it all come from? The space in behind of their left back for the LA Galaxy. Caps are definitely looking to take advantage of those spaces in between both fullbacks for the Galaxy. Once they've gotten in there, The service for both have been absolutely perfect. I mean, really, the only thing they have to do is get any contact on it to score. Caden Chung, again, instrumental in this attack. You see, he keeps with it, keeps fighting with it, good composure, and as it comes, that's the 1-2 that creates the chance. And Daniel Haber, I think he has been absolutely outstanding in his early season with the Whitecaps. You know, he's provided a few goals, but this time he puts it on a plate for Kyle Gregg to get his second of the game. Kyle Gregg will be delighted. I mean, both goals really have been just absolutely handed to him. All he had to do was get a firm touch on it to score both of them. And well deserved. The Caps have been lively and definitely on top in this game so far.
They have had the pressure as Melvin has to make a save on a sharp angle, but the captain, Kyle Gregg, has been the show offensively so far. The whole squad has been great in terms of possession, keeping it on the LA side of the field. But again, Mark, you mentioned that finish. That's why he wears the armband. That's why he's a captain. That's why he leads the team in goal scoring this season.
Well, you wonder if he'll ever get a look at the MLS level, and it's purely the fact that he does so much great work between the posts. You know, that's his 7th goal of the season here so far. He's definitely more experienced. He's a little older than the other Whitecaps players.
Well, Melvin has to come out to challenge, and he's able to smother that one.
Seiler does a good job of just using his shoulder to get across the LA Galaxy striker, creating space for his goalkeeper to come and claim it. But since the second goal for the Caps, LA Galaxy managed to work their way into 2 half-decent areas, really giving Melvin his first 2 serious touches of the ball so far.
Cole Seiler played the long ball ahead a moment ago, and now it's played back to the Vancouver side of the field. Sean Melvin in red. Kyle Gregg, the captain, with 2 goals here in the opening half. Whitecaps FC 2 leading LA Galaxy 2. 2-0. Marcus Fitzgerald with you alongside Mark Rogers on an overcast day out at UBC, Point Grey campus. David Sidhu Field. Whitecaps have yet to lose at home and overall this season, and they're off to an excellent start so far in the opening half. Possession has really come at a premium for LA Galaxy 2 so far. Levi's for Davies, near side of the field.
Nice bit of skill by 15-year-old.
Levi's was forced out that time by the defender. Oscar Sorto, I believe, 36. Yes, it was.
Be interesting to see if the LA Galaxy change their approach here. Trying to work the ball through the middle third of the pitch, and it's very congested in there. The Caps are doing a good job of just plugging all the gaps. It's really almost 8 players all jammed into small spaces. And once the Caps win it back, they're looking to get it forward very quickly, try and expose the LA Galaxy when they're vulnerable.
Oh, it's looked to be a routine play by Diop, and then Vancouver almost able to capitalize.
Well, I tell you, that could have been 3-0 and game done there. Got to question what Diop's thinking here. Down 2-0, and
Diop had to get tricky. And now a chance here for Davies again. Mark right in on goal, and he's able to finish. There's your third.
And well deserved for the young man. He's had an absolutely fantastic first 20 minutes in this game. He's torched the highly rated Oscar Sorto. This time he just nicks it out of his pocket, straight in on goal, and look at that pace. Great composure as well by the young man. He has absolutely terrorized Oscar Sorto in this first 20 minutes. And I had a little chat with Alan Koch before the game, and he made comment saying he definitely had a chance to talk to Davies and said, look, if you can get Oscar Sordo focused on his defensive job, questions whether there's enough quality there and defensive mindset by Sordo in his own third. It's definitely looking to be the case so far.
A well-deserved first of the season for Alphonso Davies in minute 21, as Whitecaps FC2 have blown this one wide open. 3-0 for the home side, just 22 minutes in.
Ruthless. I mean, all 3 goals are sitters, but as we've seen sometimes, even with the MLS side, when they've gotten in behind of the defenses, they haven't taken them. But the Caps have. They've been really ruthless in their approach so far, especially in the attacking third. 3 gilt-edged chances, all punished. Worthy 3-0 in front. Lots of soccer to play, and that's the only positive from an LA Galaxy standpoint. They're thinking to themselves, boy, you know, we're 3-0 down after 20 minutes. If we can get one before half, it could try and create a contest out of this.
Villarreal trying to create something out of this corner opportunity. Ball in the air and again played away.
It's important that the Caps don't get too happy about this 3-0 win. There's plenty of soccer left to play in this game.
And Levi's went down. He went up for the header there with another member of the Galaxy. Ball up ahead here for Bustos at the other end. Bustos one-on-one, defended well. And Levi's slow to get up, but he's okay, it appears.
Tell you what, that was what one.
Now Villarreal knocked down a midfield there, and a card coming up for the first time today.
A little bit of a bugbear of mine is every foul seems to be color now in these leagues, and I don't know if Baldissimo is fouled yet in this game, but possibly the ref thought he was a professional foul trying to break up an LA Galaxy counterattack. But yeah, I tell you what, this is about as disappointing a start as Kurt Analfo would have thought coming into this game. Would have hoped far more from his team, and especially coming off a game against not just the Sacramento Republic where they lost 2-0, but against the Caps early in the season. They gave up a 2-0 lead. So they were hoping that there'd be a little bit of revenge in his players' minds coming into the game here at Thunderbird Stadium.
Baldissimo gets tagged with the yellow card in minute 24. That play in the middle of the park just moments ago.
Coming off of their last corner, though, I meant to mention what a fantastic block by Cole Seiler. Because if the LA Galaxy get a little bit of hope back in their game, things can change quite quickly. Plenty of soccer, as I said earlier, to play here. Caps, the only thing that they can worry about is complacency. If they continue to play in the way they've started, you'd think that they'll be able to hold on to a 3-0 lead.
And a reminder, Nike is a proud partner of the USL. Follow at Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest Nike Soccer information.
Tell you what, Alan Koch couldn't have scripted a better start.
No, he couldn't have. Hey, Coach, we'll give you 3 in the first 20 minutes. How's that?
Yeah.
You're not going to get that.
No, there he is. He'll be delighted with the start.
So Kyle Gregg with 2. Alphonso Davies has his first of the season as well. Tallies from the captain coming in the 3rd minute and the 17th minute. Davies finding the back of the goal for the first time this year in the 21st minute of action. As Mark Rogers and I have no choice but to rave about the start from this home side in the opening half. Whitecaps FC2 in full control. Sorry, Mark.
Yeah, don't forget, this is a LA Galaxy team that's top of the Western Conference.
That's right.
And were USL finalists last year. There's no slouch of a team. They've been absolutely torn to shreds in the early stages of this game. And again, you look where they're punishing them is in wide areas. They really haven't had that much joy from a possession standpoint through the heart of the Galaxy defense. But the minute they get in behind the fullbacks, the domino effect occurs, and that's when one of the center backs has to release in wide areas, creating gaps in the middle of their goal, which Kyle Gregg has taken advantage of, frankly. You'd like to think that one more goal for Caps, no matter how much time's left in the game, would put this game to bed. Albeit we're still talking about a 27th minute coming up here. A little bit of a surprise. I think everybody would be surprised with what a fantastic first half the Caps have had. Not because they haven't played well this season, but the strength of their opponent.
Now Sem DeVitt. Leave it there for his teammate. Ball played in and knocked away. DeVitt gets a leg on it, and Diop leaves the play.
Bustos' quality on his on set pieces and his services has been very sharp today. A little bit disappointed with some of his service against the Tulsa Roughnecks at home last game, albeit Whitecaps came away with an exciting 3-2 win. But so far in this game today, he's been excellent.
And there's Bustos again, right on cue.
Something he's added to his game over the last couple seasons. His work rate defensively is almost unrecognizable to what it was 2 years ago. He's far fitter. His attitude defensively is excellent now.
Daniel Haber came back to make that play. Bustos wide side, had it knocked away and out of play. It'll stay with Vancouver.
Nice clean punch by Melvin. Hasn't been called upon very often so far in this game, but when he has had to deal with the ball in behind earlier in the game, he's dealt with it. That time, he's nice clean punch, nice strong punch. You would have hoped to possibly have caught that, but in the end, he dealt with it fine.
Another chance developing for Vancouver. Playing it across. Bustos right up there after it, and Diop no choice but to dive out and cover up.
Tell you what, some of the service in behind of the LA Galaxy today from the Whitecaps has been absolutely perfect. Very sharp ball by Caden Chung again. Looking to expose those gaps in the LA Galaxy defense. You almost expected it just to arrive in the LA Galaxy goal the way the game's gone so far.
And Vancouver has made that look very easy, very clinical. Now Slager with a chance here. Sharp angle and knocked out of play. Melvin had to go down for it.
That's the first little passage of play. Slager will be happy he got it at Levi's one-on-one. He hasn't had the ball at his feet facing the fullback very often so far. But once he's gotten him one-on-one, he's gotten to the byline and he's delivered a good cross. A little bit of a let-off for the Caps. Not the easiest technique to finish back on goal. The minute you go past the near post, it becomes a little bit more tricky. But Zubak will be a little disappointed that he didn't manage to challenge Melvin in the goal. First real decent passage of play for the LA Galaxy.
This is Covarrubias. Alejandro Covarrubias with a little bit of space here. And it's three defenders, but forced to play it outside the line. Possession will go back to Vancouver.
See that loss of possession in his body language. A lot of frustration in the midfield for the Galaxy so far. Really struggling to get any type of positive possession going so far.
Well, it just seems like LA Galaxy just has such a mountain to climb even with possession. Never mind the fact that they're down 3 goals. You have to wonder what the focus now of this match is going to be going forward for the next 60 minutes for the visiting side.
Yeah, they're just hoping to get a goal and create a little bit of confidence in their team. They'll tear up their preparation leading into the game, and obviously didn't pan out. Haven't really answered the bell in this game.
Well, it's that old Mike Tyson line, Mark. Everybody has a plan until you get punched in the mouth.
Yeah.
And the Whitecaps have done the punching so far. There's no question about that. Now
Here's a
possibly
chance.
something developing here for LA, but a nice defensive effort And that's been, we talked about the Whitecaps offensively, but defensive side of the ball just as solid so far.
Yeah, and they work the ball nicely into the really dangerous area again. Cole Seiler, that's his second key block so far in the last sort of 15 or so minutes. He's done well to snuff out the danger there, but the Caps will have to be aware that's sort of the second good build-up in the final third, especially for the Galaxy over the last 5 minutes.
Villarreal on the corner. Ball in the air, and Alphonso Davies on the run. Will come away with it with some room.
Ooh.
Taken down now. Crowd doesn't like it. Play will continue.
Find that a little surprising. If he did get the ball cleanly, then fair enough, but it looked like he took a bit of Davies as well. Again, in behind of the fullbacks, causing all sorts of problems down the flanks.
The speed of Caden Chung really stands out on that side of the field.
Especially over those first 10 or so yards. It's quite sharp.
Slager looking for it opposite side. As LA Galaxy down 3. The Vancouver Whitecaps FC2, a wonderful start. Wonderful first half for Vancouver thus far. 2 from Kyle Gregg, 1 from Alphonso Davies.
It's interesting now, the communication from 2 young center backs who both had very good starts to their season, both DeVitt and Seiler, has to almost increase and double their urgency and intensity to make sure they don't start going to sleep and taking for granted this 3-goal lead. We talked about the leadership of Kyle Gregg up front. Very difficult for him to lead from a defensive capacity that far up the pitch. Caps want to make sure they get into halftime. Still 3 goals in front and with a clean sheet. And from an, you'd like to think that the ref, if he's going to give let the game flow after the tackle on Davies, he would have done the same there. Looked a fairly clean tackle.
After Covarrubias was taken down.
Oh, again, Seymour's gets a bit of him to get the ball for sure. In which case, ref rightly can call a foul, but have to say, as they say in England, not in a month of Sundays, that would have been a call over there. But game's refereed quite differently here.
Jose Villarreal once again. With the left foot, long ball.
What a goal.
And that finds the back of the net. What a finish.
We're just talking about going to sleep, and in this case, Melvin cheats. He cheats to his right. He's expecting the delivery to be across from Villarreal, and as they say in England, he's given Melvin the eyes. He's shaped up to as though he's going to deliver the cross. Sees Melvin cheating to his right off the line, and he whips it right into the near post top corner. Fantastic goal, and that's that little hope that we were talking about for the Galaxy standpoint. It'll be interesting to see now in the next 5 minutes if it turbocharges them a little bit, because it's a goal really that's come out of nothing. They've gotten that one set piece. Again, a little bit of a dubious foul leading up to the free kick, but great little imagination and ingenuity by Villarreal.
Now, when you're given those opportunities, you have to finish them in a situation when you're down by 3, and Jose gets credit there for catching Sean Melvin, the first goal that Melvin has allowed this season.
Yeah, and he'll be kicking himself a little bit right now. It's important. He's a young man as well, but the importance now is that just continues to focus on the process, and the next 5 minutes especially are key to the Caps. If they can see another one before half, then the game's wide open. But if they can get into the locker room, still 2 goals in front, then Alan Koch can possibly have a chat with them about how to approach the second half. A little glimmer of hope now for the LA Galaxy. Not a lot of positives in the first half so far, but certainly the man we highlighted pregame, Villarreal, with just one moment of class to get them back into this game. What a goal.
Whitecaps FC2 are back at Thunderbird Stadium on Sunday, May 29th against the Real Monarchs. Of course, for all team news and ticket information, you can visit whitecapsfc2.com. As the home side continues to lead 3-1, Alphonso Davies on the run. Had that one knocked away. And that's one thing that we've alluded to a ton in this opening half, Mark. The speed, the energy of Alphonso Davies down that left side.
Does everything right there. He doesn't identify a forward ball. So instead of turning back, he just runs up the pitch, runs into a cul-de-sac a little bit, but draws a throw in, allows the Whitecaps to get bodies forward. You know, the ref second-guessed himself there a couple times. It's just a nice, strong tackle from Seymour. I don't know if he's looking for an advantage for the LA Galaxy, but definitely looked to hesitate on that call.
Seems like Los Angeles has had the benefit of the doubt, shall we say, in the opening half so far.
Galaxy just starting to get a bit of space in the midfield now.
We'll see if Los Angeles can continue to build on the momentum after Jose Villarreal put them on the board. About 7 minutes and change to go before half.
Good block by Davies on Sorto on that cross. Been lots of physical play on Davies, but he hasn't looked second best very often physically, which you'd expect from such a man of his age. Calling him man is probably a little flattering to Davies. He's still a kid, but definitely doesn't. He's not bashful. He doesn't back out of any physical confrontation.
Villarreal up top, able to thread one through, and Melvin has to dive out, cover up.
Got to wonder, after another nice passage of play from the Galaxy, why Villarreal, once he got into that area, just didn't pull the trigger on his left foot. And in fact, it was Raul Mendioza. Got into a great area, decided to cut back onto his right foot. Often once you get into those tight space in the 18-yard box, the minute you do that, your opportunity is wasted.
Levi's had it knocked away by Slager. Villarreal to throw in. On the run now.
Got some bodies forward here.
Weaving through, long ball. Melvin dove out, got a piece of it. Kept it out. Nice save from Melvin.
Well, we've spoken about the complacency being an issue, and possibly with such a young team going up 3-0, thought the job was done, but that's not the case at this level. Melvin's had to pull off a good save there to keep the Caps 2 goals in front. The Caps over the last 10 minutes have looked a little bit sloppy, a little bit tired. Which will be the only disappointing aspect so far in this game for Alan Koch, is to try and charge them up again at halftime. Definitely do not want to concede another goal before half. And from an LA Galaxy standpoint, it's a little glimmer of hope here. They have got that 1 goal back. Very nearly gotten a second goal back. And then the game, as I mentioned, is wide open coming into the second half.
Well, we saw a wide open match for the MLS Whitecaps yesterday in Toronto. At 4 goals already in the opening half here.
Funny enough, both the MLS team got off to an absolutely great start against Toronto yesterday.
As Alphonso Davies is down. Sorry, Mark.
Yeah, a little bit of a worry here, seeing Alfonso, yeah, we talked about the physical part of what LA have been doing with Davies, sorry. This time he took one in the back. Possibly knocked the wind out of him. You can see him sitting up now and looks all right. But again, he's got his eye on the ball. He's putting his head in where it hurts. It's a clean attack of the ball by Osordo. Nothing malicious in that, but it's just a little bit of naivety from the young man. Have to be a little bit wary of putting his head in like that. Want to know first where the defender's attacking the ball from before he goes into an area like that, putting his head at risk. Now they're looking at him. Looks like they're doing a little bit of a concussion test with him, making sure the kid's okay. Of course, can't risk it. What they know about head injuries these days. Caution is always the best form of treatment.
Just before halftime here, Vancouver leading Los Angeles 3-1. Alfonso Davies looks like he's ready to go right back out there. He capitalized in the 34th minute. Good to see Alfonso all right. Now Caden Chung may have an opportunity here on the run with one defender, but has it knocked away. Whitecaps FC2 are back at Thunderbird Stadium on Sunday, May 29th, taking on Real Monarchs. For team news and ticket info, you can visit whitecapsfc2.com. Great atmosphere at Thunderbird Stadium. Good crowd this afternoon. See these two teams, two of the best in the Western Conference. Los Angeles at the top of the table entering play today. Caden Chung plays it into the middle. Could be a chance right before the half. Davies right there as well. One-on-one now, two defenders on, had it knocked away.
Well, LA Galaxy are going to have to fix that problem. Caps have gotten into that area, exact same space, behind the left fullback and the left-sided center half with regularity in this first half. And it's often come at the foot of Caden Chung. He's had a very good first half. Bustos just not able to create that little bit of space to pull the trigger on his left foot. See how desperate he was to create it. But in the end, good block, nice clean block from the LA Galaxy center back. You'd have to think that if he would have scored there, that would have been the game.
We'll have 2 minutes of extra time added at the end of this half. Clement Diop sends it away. Galaxy trying to strike here right before the end of the half. We'll play 2 minutes.
Great composure from DeVitt. Rule of thumb for a center half we saw from both teams there is do not let the ball bounce. But in the end, so DeVitt gets back and shows great composure on the turn.
Whitecaps trying to play keep away, but they turn it over. Could be something late here. Slager had a chance, but frustration for the LA side. As we keep an eye on the official, waiting for the whistle. Just the 2 minutes of extra time. 45 minutes played. Alfonso Davies right before the whistle had it taken away. Continuing with that physical play.
Sorto's had an absolutely torrid time against Davies this first half. A lot of work to do to correct what's going on both flanks for the LA Galaxy defensively.
Now Diop, the goalkeeper, coming up, trying to create something late. Ball was in play, now in the air. Melvin on the run, had to dive back, and good block, and there's your whistle. First half is in the books. LA Galaxy looked a little dangerous there right at the end, Mark, but Vancouver will take a 3-1 lead to the room after one half of play.
Yeah, and fully deserving. The Caps got into some great areas, and when they did, especially in the first 3 chances, they punished them for it. And in the end, Kyle Gregg really didn't have a lot to do in those 2 chances, literally just get any little bit of contact on them. They both are goals. Caps will be delighted with their start. The only thing that Alan Koch will be disappointed with is once they've gone 3-0 in front, keep the things going, keep the habits going that created you those 3 goals. They sort of took their foot off the pedal a little bit. And one moment of just genius from Villarreal got the LA Galaxy 1 goal back. It's the only real glimmer of hope they've had this first half. Albeit there's a big block by Levi's there right at the death of the first half to prevent it from going to 3-2. But very little from the LA Galaxy to be positive about. It came out of the gates very slow and sluggish. But in the end, it's 3-1 now. 2-goal difference, and the LA Galaxy have something to hold on to, something to go and attack.
And the Whitecaps certainly look like an unbeaten team so far in the opening half. Again, the score at the half: Vancouver Whitecaps FC 2-3, LA Galaxy 2-1. And we will be back with more. You're watching USL action on the USL YouTube channel and whitecapsfc2.com.
For sure. Well, and that's the danger when you come forward so much. Hasley! Oh, goodness! Eric Hasley! What a rocket to make it 1-1, and it changes everything!
Find themselves having to get back into the game. Hasley.
Oh, goodness, Hasley!
What a goal from Eric Hasley! You will not see better than that.
Forward one more time. Maddox sends it in. Goes to Waipili, cuts it back. Camilo!
For the month of May, Vancouver Whitecaps FC want all their fans to buck up for mental health. We've teamed up with the Vancouver Police Department and Covenant House Vancouver to raise awareness and share the personal stories of those affected by mental health.
Covenant House changed my life. I just sort of got to a point where I didn't feel like I had any other option, and with the support from the staff and what they were able to provide for me, I was able to completely turn my life around.
More than 1,400 street-involved youth visit Covenant House Vancouver each year to find sanctuary and a brighter future. Vancouver Whitecaps FC are looking to raise $22,000 in support of Covenant House Vancouver.
It's absolutely critical that we support the Covenant House, and if we're able to create some funding in any way to, we can help one more youth get off the streets and create that awareness and deal with that stigma, then it's a win-win for everybody.
On May 28th, join Whitecaps FC for Buck Up for Mental Health in support of Covenant House Vancouver. Together, let's buck up for mental health. Visit whitecapsfc.com/buckup to donate.
Nicholas Mosqueda is becoming a veteran of the Vancouver Whitecaps. He is in season number 3, a different player in person than when he arrived in 2014.
Now I feel more confident. It's good for me have the same coach for 3 seasons. In Uruguay, I had 4 coaches in 1 season in the same team. So this is, you never, when you know one coach, you change the coach. So here it is good.
He has been effective playing the number 10 position that is usually filled by Captain Pedro Morales. Mosqueda has made the most of his opportunities. He did that last summer. With the captain injured, he was a big key to the Caps' summer of success.
This moment helped me a lot because I showed to the coach, to the team, what I can do, when I can bring the help to the team.
Still a young pro for Mosqueda, it's about proving himself in practice and in those opportunities when he gets on the pitch.
My nickname in the last team in Uruguay was Pitbull, the dog. Pitbull because all the time bite and stay there, bother to the defender.
He's infectious to have around the place, you know. He needs to sharpen up on certain items within his game, as does every player that we have on the roster, but you know, he sets the tone from what we're like as a pressing team.
Only 24, Mosqueda spent a year playing in Norway, the language barrier making him feel like an outsider. With Vancouver and its Spanish-speaking players, he's in the middle of everything.
What you see about me in the field, I am the same in the locker. Like,
so are you talking to everybody?
Yeah, when we won or something, yeah, I am the first who celebrate or shout or sing in the locker.
Oh, the singing.
Yeah, no, yeah, sing it or do that, something funny for, yeah, dance or anything.
He will never be accused of not enjoying the moment. Nicholas Mosqueda hoping to continue with positive play in a Whitecaps uniform.
Fraser Aird is a young man with no regrets. His parents, when they were younger, moved from Scotland to Canada looking for better lives, a new way. At 16, he did the reverse.
The best time for me to go over when I was young, and I could be sitting here now and say, what if I went, what if I didn't, and I'm glad I did, because obviously it worked out for him.
It worked out well. The 21-year-old is getting first-team minutes and getting adjusted after being in a tight Glasgow surrounding.
I think it's just so small. Canada's such a big place. There's, like, you need to get in the car and drive everywhere. In Scotland, like, you can get to places in like 10, 15 minutes. Everything's close, kind of, everyone knows each other. It's like a, kind of, they call it the Glasgow bubble, like everyone knows everybody.
Aird didn't return to Canada alone. He met girlfriend LJ while playing for the Rangers. She was the neighbor to his Scottish soccer billets. They're looking at soccer life in MLS as an adventure together.
Scotland's beautiful and there's lots to do outside, but we don't have the weather to be able to get out and do things like hikes and trails.
It's a new adventure, you know. We were going there, just us two, and we'd make it work wherever we went.
This week, Aird finally goes back to Toronto, where his family laid down their roots, where they had season tickets when he was a kid, where he watched and hoped.
All the young boys at the time growing up in Toronto and playing in Toronto, obviously our goal when we were younger, we always wanted to play professionally.
He returns a success, a professional player, former Glasgow Ranger and current Vancouver Whitecap.
So I'm sure there'll be a few fans out supporting me, hopefully. But no, there'll be folks spread all over the stadium that I went to school with, that I played with when I was younger, knowing that I'm coming back to play.
It will be a wonderful weekend, and then he'll return, continue to learn, and take on new adventures in his West Coast home.
I think that could be me and you. We can get a dual one and go kayaking.
Welcome back to UBC Thunderbird Stadium. Marcus Fitzgerald with you. And just a reminder, Whitecaps FC2 are back at Thunderbird Stadium on Sunday, May 29th against Real Monarchs. For team news and ticket information, visit whitecapsfc2.com. Marcus Fitzgerald with you alongside Mark Rogers. An eventful first half at David Sidhu Field for Vancouver Whitecaps FC2. A 3-1 lead for the home side. Mark, as we take a look at some of the stats of the opening half, aside from the 4 goals, obviously, what jumps out to you the most?
Well, the big thing is the Whitecaps managed to cash in of their 5 shots, get 3 goals. And it just shows how ruthless they were in that first 25, 30. Yeah, very efficient. Whereas LA Galaxy, although we don't have a possession stat there, would probably be a little bit disappointed with how much possession they had in the final third of the Whitecaps. They got bogged down in the middle third of the pitch. Really hard to get through that area. Caps done a nice job of confining the LA Galaxy space in there. But as we alluded to, it doesn't matter. They've gotten 1 goal back, given a little glimmer of hope coming into the second half. You see a bunch of the LA Galaxy players out there now getting warm. You know, they would have been charged by Analfo to get out there to make sure they're ready to give a contribution here in the second half against the Caps.
And on the Vancouver side of things, Kyle Gregg certainly with 2 goals in that opening half. The captain, a big part of some of the highlights that we did see in that opening half of play.
Here's the first goal, and it's a great ball by Bustos. Well-timed run by Caden Chung to get him behind the LA Galaxy defense. And in the end, Kyle Gregg's run off the shoulder of the LA Galaxy 2 center backs was perfect. Caden Chung gets his head up, lays it on a plate for him. 1-0 Caps.
And then this is the second one as well.
That's Bustos down to the ground. But again, this is the second goal now, where Caden Chung doing some more good work in wide areas. In fact, I think this was the, yeah, this is the second goal to Kyle Gregg. Fantastic work in wide areas by Caden Chung. In the end, Daniel Haber, fantastic awareness the minute he gets down to the byline to pick out Gregg again with another sitter. And finally, here's the young man Alfonso Davis with the third one for the Caps. And he just picks a pocket of Oscar Sordo, who he has terrorized in the first half of this game. Gets one-on-one with Diop. Good, cool composure and nice gymnastic ability from the kid.
Yeah, the backflip as well. Things that we cannot do, or maybe you could in your playing days. I'm not sure, but.
And again, look at the area that Haber finds himself in there. Just in between the center back, in behind of the center back and fullback on the left side of the Galaxy defense again. But this is what's gotten the LA Galaxy back into the game, and Melvin will be looking at that and be quite disappointed.
And that goal by Villarreal coming off a set piece when LA Galaxy really struggled, Mark, to get anything going. You know, they take advantage of that foul that leads to that chance for Villarreal, and LA Galaxy was able to build after that. You know, in the final 10 minutes of that half, I'm guessing if I'm Kurt Analfo, fellas, just take the last 10 minutes of the half and work that into the second half somehow. We should be okay.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see the first 15 minutes of this second half. We just had a close-up of Alfonso Davies, and if he continues to play in the same vein of form he showed in the first half, it'll be a good outing for the Caps because he had all sorts of success down that side. But from the LA Galaxy standpoint, if they can, you know, create a little bit of momentum off of that late goal by Villarreal and get that second goal in the first 15 minutes here, it's an entirely different game. And there's Alan Koch there, Marcus, and you know what his chat would be of, hey guys, more of the first 30 minutes, less of the last 15.
Well, it's almost like that goal for LA sort of woke Vancouver up in the sense, look, we're up 3, we can't fall asleep, it's a 90-minute game.
Well, it's a very, very young team for the Whitecaps. They won't have been in many games as a professional where they've been 3 goals in front. So it's learning how to manage that situation. It doesn't happen very often at this level. But the most important thing is just to keep going, make sure you don't take the foot off the pedal. I think they're guilty of that slightly towards the end of the first half. Get back to sharp, urgent ball movement, which they showed in the first 25 minutes.
As the second half gets underway, Vancouver dominated possession to begin the match this afternoon. We'll see how they start here.
Excellent from Bustos again. So good in tight areas.
Bustos was up there, so was Daniel Haber.
And have a little glimpse at possibly what Alan Koch tasked them with. Will Seymour winning the second ball there off his two center backs. They want to make sure they're first to those second balls. Nice and aggressive and urgent in their defending as well as their possession. From an LA Galaxy standpoint, despite the fact that they got a 1-goal back in this game, they really struggled to get any momentum going in the first half. They'll want to have a wake-up type performance here in the second half.
Now it could be something generating here. Oh, nope. Turned away. Spoke too soon that time, Mark.
Well, Zubak finds himself in behind a DeWitt. Really does have to do better once he gets into those areas.
Now it's far side of the field. Villarreal lets it through. Right side opportunity. Played into the box. Knocked away. A back and forth action. After it now is Raul Mendiola plays it in, and Melvin makes a great save right off the hop to keep it 3-1.
Good start by the LA Galaxy. Fantastic little pullback by Mendiola. And in the end, I tell you what, that's a fantastic save. What a great save by Melvin down to his right. Very difficult to get down that quick. Nice strong hand on it.
Villarreal almost had his second of the match right there. Nearly cut it to a 1-goal game. Now it's Villarreal one more time.
Ooh, lots of space here.
Cutting to the middle, lets it go. Melvin, another stop. So Sean Melvin busy early in the second half.
Two huge chances for the LA Galaxy to pull this game back to within one. Villarreal, absolutely disappointed with how he's finished that. Couldn't have had more space. He's right around the edge of the 18-yard box towards the penalty spot. And all that at that stage, all he has to do is get good contact on it, drag it back towards the near post. Not much Melvin would have been able to do about that, but in the end, he puts it in an area where Melvin can make a comfortable save. Another let-off for the Caps, though.
And I'd imagine, Mark, that's what makes this game so frustrating sometimes. You know that over the course of 90 minutes, you might only have 2 or 3 opportunities to score. That's it.
And not in this game.
Maybe not this one.
But
maybe not this one.
No, that's the thing. The best teams are the most ruthless teams. They get into good areas. They punish the opponent for allowing them to get into those areas. And the Caps have largely been the better of the two sides with that so far. We alluded to it at halftime. 3 goals from five chances. The LA Galaxy are off to a very strong start here in the second half.
Was Ethan Zubak in the mix for a moment. Now the ball out of play. And again, it's this side of the field, Mark. It was Whitecaps' ball for most of the first half to begin, and now Sean Melvin has been the busier of the two keepers by far in the opening few minutes as Daniel Haber gets taken down.
2 good saves. The first one especially down to his right was an excellent save. The second one, I think Villarreal would be disappointed with his finish, but Caps it could provide a little bit of a wake-up call for the Whitecaps this half, because really the Galaxy should have pulled back at least 1 goal here. Caps have been guilty of a little bit of complacent defending to start the second half.
It was the offense that gave the Vancouver side the spark in the opening half, but goaltending has come into the forefront in half number 2. For Vancouver.
You have to think that Melvin would be disappointed with the first goal he allowed. Villarreal gave him the eyes and really exposed him cheating to his right off that free kick. But Melvin's made up for it with those 2 saves, that's for sure.
Probably playing a little extra fire in the belly. Sean surely knowing that goal in the opening half was the first that he's given up all season.
Well, it shows good confidence in the kid too. It's difficult. A lot of players will allow that moment to really hang with them for the rest of the game and affected their confidence, thereby leading to more mistakes. But it doesn't seem to be the case with Sean Melvin so far. Seems to have put that aside now, that first goal. And I tell you what, that first save down to his right there to start the second half is not an easy save to make. Very difficult to get down that quickly. Usually it's by the goalkeeper before he can do anything about it. So he'll be pleased with that one.
We'll keep that one in mind as play rolls along in the second half. About 40 minutes and change still to go. Lots of action still to come. David Sidhu Field, UBC campus out at Point Grey, Vancouver. And now Melvin again will send one away. And now a chance here for the Galaxy. It's sent wide of the goal. LA with an opportunity to cut into the lead.
Well, what happens is Baldissimo gets caught dwelling on the ball in a very, very dangerous area. And he gets bullied off of it by Covarrubias, who then sets the table for Villarreal. Another gilt-edged chance for him. Has to hit the target and test the goalkeeper in that situation. Another let off by the Whitecaps. You know, that's 3 really strong chances now for the LA Galaxy in the first 6 minutes of the second half. And the tendency when you get up 3-0 is to stop doing the things that have given you success in the first place. Seems to be the case with this young Whitecaps side.
And of course, you can follow all the action at USL on Twitter to keep up with all the live action during the 2016 USL season. Great action here in the second half, but mostly the Whitecaps into the field. Sean Melvin has been busy. Another cross. Villarreal buzzing, dangerous. Up top now, could be a chance. Far side. Does it stay out? Yes, it will. Goes over the top. LA Galaxy coming close, but the ball stays out. It's still 3-1.
That's an easily preventable chance. I don't know why DeVitt decides to bring it down to his chest when he could have just headed it clear in the first place. A little bit complacent, sloppy defending from the 2 center backs. But in the end, his center back partner bails him out. Cole Seiler was great. He doesn't quit on the play, heads straight towards goal and bails his team out. The Galaxy are right on top right now and will be worthy of a second goal here. Caps will have to wake up, get themselves going again, and possibly why Alan Kosh has decided to make a change here. You know, with Julio Ferrano coming into the holding midfield position for Baldissimo. Possibly signs that he's not happy with the way the game's going right now, and I'm sure that's the case. You know, he's having a little chat now with Baldissimo down there, asking a few of the lads to get up and get warm. You kind of sense Alan Kosh probably looking at this and going, the tide can change very quickly in this game if another goal goes in for the LA Galaxy.
Julio Ferrano celebrating his 23rd birthday tomorrow as he gets in here. Villarreal once again from the corner. This time it's knocked out of harm's way. DeVitt.
Another poor clearance from DeVitt. He's been rock solid so far this season.
Villarreal chips it ahead, trying to get a give and go going, but DeVitt steps in, takes his time, and sends it away.
Good composure.
Julio Ferrano got his first touch of the match right there, wearing number 45.
It's a dangerous ball by the LA Galaxy in behind Caden Chung. Up against Mendiola. And in the end, good defending by the kid, but definitely takes a whack for that defensive effort right on top of his foot, which definitely smarts. Another good block. But again, another corner chance for the LA Galaxy.
Villarreal just all over the ball here in the second half. Certainly in the first as well, but he's stuck out here. It's a handful of corners, I believe the third now.
Good defensive header by Haber there.
That leads to the throw in this time around. Villarreal gets it right back, trying to create some space. They go up top. Chance on goal, but well wide.
Well, this is more of what we expected the Galaxy would look like when they started the game. It's taken them an eternity to work their way up to their speed of play that they would be happy with. But they've started this second half on fire, and the Caps really now have to be on their game. The amount of chances the LA Galaxy are creating here is is a bit alarming. Alan Koch will be a little concerned with that.
Davies now with some room, trying to operate. Dispossessed of the ball back near midfield. See if the Whitecaps can try to hold possession on this side of the park. And a whistle. Kyle Gregg was taken down.
It looked like a shove in the back. Kyle Gregg didn't look happy about it, that's for sure. Covarrubias goes through the back.
Yeah,
of
two
Kyle
hands
Gregg.
in there.
Yeah. It looks like he gets a little chat. I didn't see if the referee issued him a yellow card. Blatant foul. Bustos' service so far in this set piece has been very good. They'll want it. They'll want that again.
Marco lets it go towards the goal, and Diop gets both hands on it. Plays it away to the middle of the park, knocked away though by Caden Chung.
He's had a very good game so far, Caden Chung. Not just in the attacking half, which we've come to expect from him. Defensively as well, he's much sharper than he was. He's still a kid, but it's the side of the game, the dirty side, that he'll have to continue to work on if he wants to be a top level fullback.
Sean Melvin will set it up for Sem DeVitt. Plays it back to his goalkeeper. 57 minutes done so far. Vancouver leading Los Angeles 3-1. Marco Bustos sends it up ahead, gets it on the return, up top, has some room, lets it go, and a nice save by Diop.
Great patience by Bustos. He's running at Haber. Haber made a couple runs. Once he finally adjusted and showed defeat, plays it into him sharp. Nice little 1-2 at the top of the 18. Again, he's desperate to try and create a little half yard of space for himself. This time he does so, forcing a nice save by Diop.
That also sets up a corner opportunity. Service in, ball in the air. Back towards midfield. LA Galaxy snuff out that opportunity, and now they're back through the middle. Of the part, Ethan Zubak had to roll off his foot, out of play.
The minute Caden Chung decides to go to ground there, he absolutely must make contact with the ball. He does, but it forces a corner kick, gives the LA Galaxy another chance, another set piece opportunity. You see the short corner, catches the Caps a little unaware, but they didn't pull it off. A little bit of sloppiness there.
Raul Mandiola caught his teammates off guard as well, it looked like, as they play it across. Now a chance up top, but an easy one for Sean Melvin.
Tell you what, Zubar had plenty of space, possibly to bring the ball down, set himself first, and then forces a block off Cole Seiler again.
And now some physicality right in front of us as Bustos was taken down by Covarrubias. Play continues here. Villarreal, sharp angle, but coming back to make the play was Will Seymour. Leads to another corner opportunity for Los Angeles.
Yeah, another corner for the Galaxy. Look dangerous on these the second half especially.
Melvin has to come out aware, gets both hands on it, sends it away.
Good distribution by Melvin as well. A little unfortunate for Bustos not to get on the end of it.
It's got to be frustrating sometimes, Mark, to sprint 50 yards and then not come up with the ball with two defenders on you. I'd imagine.
Yeah, but it's part of the game. You learn very early when you start playing soccer, it's not all about you. It's funny. That basically sums up Slager's game so far. His body language has been poor. And the minute he slips over, you can see his head's down.
The frustration.
Yeah, he's frustrated.
That's where it sets in.
Sure, but he should be in a positive mindset. The Galaxy have been buzzing the second half, creating plenty of chances. He should be thinking, you know, I could get myself on the end of one, and then it's a whole different scenario once the game gets to 3-2. So Galaxy just will be looking at some of these half chances and gilt-edged chances and wondering, boy, if we would have started the game like this, could be a very different story. From a Cap standpoint, they better not fall asleep too much.
And we've seen one fine save from Diop here in the second half from the LA side.
Yeah.
In terms of offensive chances, but
that's been about it for the Caps in the second half.
Nowhere near close to what we saw in half number one.
But a nice moment for them, something they can build on, showing that they can, if they can work the ball, which has been rare in this half, into the final third for the LA Galaxy, they can create chances. Seems to have come at the foot. That one definitely has been created and engineered by Marco Bustos.
Well, might be something developing here. Slager. Or the Galaxy up top. Now a shot towards the goal, but over the net, Mendiola.
I tell you what, that's a great chance
Shifty.
again. The minute he shapes onto his right foot, you're thinking all he has to do is hit it low across goal, challenge the goalkeeper. In the end, he smashes, skies it above the goal. Another chance for the Galaxy. Very wasteful here.
Bustos was knocked to the turf.
Good work on winning the second ball. Nice and brave, puts his head in there and draws the foul. Chance for him to get on the ball. Some of his service off these free kicks has been solid and good. You're hoping they can create a chance here, the Whitecaps.
Just to sort of turn the momentum a little bit. It's easy to dismiss with a 2-goal lead, but a lot of the play on the Vancouver side of the field. Bustos sends it through. And that one will roll out of play.
Yeah, little touch by Kyle Gregg. Fortunately for the Whitecaps, Cole Seiler couldn't get on the end of the flick.
Kyle Gregg, if you're joining us late, has 2 goals in this one in the opening half. And Alphonso Davies as well. For Whitecaps FC 2. Jose Villarreal on a set piece free kick. Came also in the first half. 4 goals in the opening half. Nothing so far. 63 minutes in. Ball rolls out of play. We'll stay with Vancouver.
Great work by Alphonso Davies there, not to give up on it. Oscar Sordo had, a good 5-6 yards on him, but Davies doesn't quit on it. In the end, runs him down and draws a throw in the final third. And it's the type of habits from a young player that'll hold him in good stead as he develops. It's that tenacity and urgency in his game. It's very natural for him. We were speaking about Kyle Gregg earlier, and I know I've spoken to Alan Koch, who's been absolutely delighted with his leadership that he's provided for such a young team. And he's a little bit older, although he's only about 26 years old. He really does lead the line for the Whitecaps and provides a good amount of guidance to his young comrades.
There's quite a bit of guidance you need to provide when the age differences on this team in some cases are so vast.
Yeah,
makes it very unique.
We've talked about the LA Galaxy getting in, sort of being on top in the second half here, and that's partly due to the age of the team. Whitecaps won't have found themselves in 3-0 in front very often. So it's the guys like Kyle Gregg that'll have to try and guide them through this game. So mentor them as part of their learning and development curve.
On the free kick, Melvin had to dive up for that one, out of his reach, but also wide of the goal as we take a look at the replay.
Well, I'm looking at Slager here at the back post, and he doesn't attack it at all. He just jogs in and he jumps up, thinking, oh, well. Now, it's those moments where you have to break your neck and go and attack the ball with full intent. You'll be sometimes you're surprised when it arrives there, but when it does arrive, you're in a position to score.
Now it's Caden Chung from Port Coquitlam, wearing number 63. I'm from Port Coquitlam,
Yeah,
Mark.
you keep saying it.
I have to throw that out there at least, I think, 3 times.
Somebody has to be from there. This little dig at Davey Norman, who's a Coquitlam guy. A little banter back and forth with the Whitecaps color guy. And have the opportunity to live in beautiful Tawasin.
Now a ball out of play.
Coming into the last quarter of the game now, the Caps have managed to stave off a number of good opportunities for the LA Galaxy.
Someone sends it away. Davies was separated from the ball and he's unhappy.
Certainly looked a foul, but the ref, I mean, he's grabbed him and pulled him down. The ref decided to play on, but have to say, although the ref at times let them play, he's been very inconsistent.
Nice job by Bustos, taken down. He had the step. As he was one-on-one with Slager that time, and now we'll have substitutions on either side.
Well, Slager's had a game so far to forget, that's for sure. Last day, it's just lazy defending, gets too tight to Bustos. He's always going to have an advantage on a taller player with the ball at his feet. He's very sharp, spins him and then draws the foul. See Fatau now coming on for Alfonso Davies.
And Adonis Amaya checks in for Los Angeles.
See Alan Koch is absolutely thrilled with the performance of his young charge. Really happy with him. Rightfully so. I thought he had an absolutely great game. Caused Oscar Sordo fits for most of it.
Diop comes out, gets his hands on the ball. We'll let you know Whitecaps FC2 back at Thunderbird Stadium Sunday, May 29th, 2 weeks from now, against Real Monarchs. For team news and ticket information, you can visit whitecapsfc2.com. Home side continuing to lead 3-1. A wide open first half, 4 goals, 3 for Vancouver. It's been a tale of the goalkeepers so far in half number 2.
Well, Melvin's been the busier of the two, that's for sure. Diop pulled off a very nice save on Marco Bustos down to his right.
That might be a chance. Developing. Amaya gets his first touch after checking in, but headed away by DeVitt. Gets a nice hand from the crowd here at Thunderbird Stadium. And now Melvin diving out, knocks one down. Tata Safu had a little trouble with that one. Tenacious play on the ball defensively. Missing after Covarrubias, but he's able to thread one through. Melvin got in there, but the whistle flag came up.
It's tight, very nice run. In the end, Covarrubias finds him, but assistant referee puts his flag up. Villarreal, actually, it's the one that found him, but Jaime Villarreal, his namesake, got in behind and pulled off very well on Cole Seiler there. Very close decision by the assistant referee. See, Kurt Analfo now is thinking, what does he have to do to change this game? They've created plenty of chances the second half. and haven't been able to cash in. But he'll be thinking now, what type of changes do I need to do? I have to make a tactical change, or is it just simply a personnel change, or leave it be? Because this has been a second half where the LA Galaxy have created plenty of chances to get back into the game.
And now a yellow card handed out to Alina Shanahan of the LA Galaxy. So an opportunity here for Vancouver to maybe create something. Curtin Alpha wondering what his team has to do. Maybe an opportunity for the Whitecaps to increase their lead here with the free kick, up 3-1 in the second half. After number 72, Nishanian tagged with a yellow card. Ball sent in, played it across. And the whistle.
My initial reaction to that is Will Seymour's done an absolutely brilliant job attacking the ball at the back post. Yeah, there's a little bit of grappling going on, but standard issue for a set piece. Does a great job of heading it back towards goal. The referee sees some sort of contact in it. Decides to whistle the Whitecap holding midfielder on for the foul, but be a bit harsh. Nothing came of the knockdown anyways for the Caps.
And as the Galaxy continue to possess the ball, Mark, that debate continues for Curtin Alpha. What do I change? Do I need to change anything? Have the ball, just can't finish right now.
That's right.
Taken down hard.
I like
was Josh Turnley.
Well, if he goes over the ball, it's a foul. But as he attacks it there, he wins the ball. He wins the ball first. His foot falls through, and it looks a painful one for the LA Galaxy player, but it's part of the game. He wins the ball first. If he goes through his ankle first and then takes the ball, it's a foul. But in that case, Fatal puts his foot in, wins the ball first, and his follow-through goes into the ankle of the LA Galaxy player.
Yeah, Fatal just given a yellow card here, Mark. So,
well, I mean, if he goes over top of the ball and straight leg studs him, it's a red card. But he doesn't. He wins the ball first, and on his follow-through, his studs collide with the LA Galaxy ankle, which, by the way, smarts. It hurts, but it's not a foul for me. And that's the problem too. What a foul is in North America is so up and down depending on from game to game. And that type of consistency is the thing that really drives managers and coaches crazy.
Well, there was quite the debate earlier in the MLS season on what a tackle is, what's card material, what's not. And the LA Galaxy, they've had opportunities, they've kept the ball where it needs to go for the most part, but the Whitecaps on the run here now. A couple players set to check in for Los Angeles.
Well, we talked about what an Alpha would do. Looks like he's going to make a personnel change. Whether that's a formation, tactical change as well, we'll see. And it hasn't been a case where the Galaxy haven't been able to create a few chances. They have. We'll have to have a wait and see on what really changes here.
Nathan Smith and Ryo Fuji
coming on for Covarrubias there.
Fuji heads out first.
Both holding both central midfielders for the Galaxy coming off. Villarreal, Jamie Villarreal and Covarrubias coming off. Looks like Ryu's going right away, going to more of an advanced role, almost like a number 10. Almost like it looks like almost like a 4-1-4-1 or a 4-1-3-2 now for the LA Galaxy.
Sean Melvin, you see the goalkeeper rock solid in the second half. Plenty of action down near his goal, but he's answered the challenge after conceding one in the Villarreal free kick in the opening half. it's Jose Villarreal again in the middle with some space, sends it through, but over the goal. Always dangerous.
It is, and it looked like a shove in the back on Fatal, but gets away with it. Creates a little bit of a half yard at the top of the area, and he has it well in his locker to challenge the goalkeeper there. He's shaking his head a little bit, possibly a bit of frustration that he hasn't hit the target. He certainly struck it with enough venom.
Now Mitch Piroux about to come in for Vancouver, wearing number 37. Piroux takes the place of Will Seymour.
Yeah, straight swap, fresh legs. And Mitch Piroux is an active, busy player. Hopefully provide a bit of a boost and jump defensively for the Whitecaps in the last 15 or so minutes with injury time.
Sam DeVitt moves it up. Kyle Gregg. Crowd getting behind their Whitecaps here. Marco Bustos, long ball up ahead, but just behind Daniel Haber.
Nice little play between Haber and Bustos again. Just not able to lay it in front of Haber, just behind him. A little bit unlucky there.
Now the Galaxy trying to create. Villarreal once again. The left side, dropping one off, sends it across, and once again over the goal.
It's a great ball, wide area there. Tell you what, Ryu gets in between both center backs, gets in front of Cole Seiler there, just not able to guide it back on goal. In the end, puts it well over the net, but another half chance for the LA Galaxy.
As the ball's sent away, remind you can keep up to date with the USL all season long by visiting the new USLsoccer.com for everything you need to know about the USL and its 29 teams. 77 minutes in.
As we get closer to the last 10 minutes from a Caps perspective, it doesn't have to be pretty at that stage with a 2-goal lead. It's really important that they stay connected and compact defensively, not allow spaces for the Galaxy. They've created some in the second half. Make sure they play sideways and backwards predominantly, and really they don't have to get stretched. The onus is on the Galaxy to come and chase the game. Caps can stay defensive. It can, although it might not be pretty from an attacking standpoint, they don't need to send as many bodies forward to link up with Kyle Gregg and the Marco Bustos of the world.
So that's coach and analyst speak for stay alert, don't fall asleep, basically.
Well, did
they try to nurse this one to bed here?
Fatal and Haber, they're both good attacking players, but their job now is really, it's a great ball again.
Job by Bustos, and the head opportunity. Diop has to go up high for it.
Mitch Piroux gets any touch on that. He has a very, very good chance of scoring, but in the end doesn't get enough purchase on his header. But what I was saying about the defensive aspect, if they can keep two banks of four, or another bank of four, midfield four in front of their back four, it'd be very difficult for the Galaxy to create much space, and that will really see out the game. What they don't want to do is get into a track meet at this stage of the game and create the odd chance for LA Galaxy to get their nose back into it.
In case you're joining us late, it was a bit of a track meet in the opening half, at least in terms of the Whitecaps being able to get behind the defensive front and the back end of the Galaxy. Kyle Gregg, the captain, with 2 goals in this one. Alphonso Davies scoring his first of the season, made it 3-0. And then Jose Villarreal at the Galaxy back in at about 10 minutes before the halftime whistle. Galaxy played well final 10 minutes of the first half and really to start this second half, but almost 80 minutes in the books. Whitecaps FC2 in good shape here.
Well, there's no excuse in the middle of the park. Piroux and Frano should have fresh legs for the Whitecaps. You can see, as I said, it's almost like 2 banks of 4 now, with Bustos in the number 10 and then Gregg alone up front. Really managing the last bit of the game, trying to see it out from a Whitecaps perspective. Don't want to give them any, if they're going to score, make sure that they score a goal, a 35-yard cracker, a stunner to get them back into this game, but don't give them any freebies or easy ones. They're really confronting the midfield four is staying together now and really only confronting in their own half.
Now Brett Levi's for Bustos. Nice give and go. Levi's on the run with some room.
And this is where Levi's is very good.
Brett stops up, plays it for Bustos. Can he get a shot away? He did, but knocked away. Levi's follows up, and it's in the back of the goal. Vancouver will take it.
Wow, Brett Levi's, that's the area of the pitch he wants to be. He really starts the move and he finishes it. Great little interception and the ball into Slager. Starts it in his own half. Continues his run. Bustos finds him. Now he's running into the 18-yard box and he's thinking, this is my chance to get on the end of one. Does the right thing, cuts back. And you think now, once Bustos beats that first defender, he's going to be the guy that scores. But no, nice save by Diop, or blocked by the center back. And as it rolls back to Levi's, he just guides it back on goal with his least favorite right foot. The Galaxy aren't able to prevent it from going over the line. You think that now from a Whitecaps perspective, getting that 3-goal lead back, probably enough now in the 82nd minute. Definitely a hill too far, you'd think, for the LA Galaxy at this latest stage.
That's Levi's first goal of the season. And perhaps the insurance that the Whitecaps require here, up 4-1, but now something developing. Melvin has to jump up and get a paw on that ball. And now Fatal will start out. Now the Galaxy have no choice but to open things up, so the Whitecaps have had some room here, but a collision on the LA side of the field. Kyle Gregg.
It's good pressure by Gregg, but certainly a foul. As Payeras takes his, looks like, no.
Nathan Smith, 47.
Yep. Nathan Smith takes a touch out of his feet. Gregg barges into him and then turns and is hoping the ref won't call the foul, but certainly was one.
The clock continues to tick here. Thunderbird Stadium, Whitecaps FC 2, 1-0-1 at home so far this season. Just the third home match, but in excellent shape with a 4-1 lead. Trying to finish this one strong as they will move on to face Portland Timbers 2 on Friday, May the 20th. They'll be in Oregon, and a great shot from LA Galaxy. I believe that was Slager.
Yeah.
From point blank range. That makes it 4-2.
Up till that point, he hadn't had a great day at the office. But boy, he couldn't have hit this much better. The minute it finds its way out, it's mistimed by Seiler there. Be a little disappointed with that one. But the minute it drops to Slager, he absolutely smashes it past Melvin into the far top corner.
That coming in minute 84. So there's still some time left here. 4-2. You never know. With as dangerous as the Galaxy have been at times in the second half.
Yeah, you have to say second half, the Caps winning the second half 1-0 up to that goal was possibly a little flattering for the Whitecaps. They've been second best for large periods of the second half. It's easy to be that way when you get up to a 3-0 lead,
Of course.
But another little wake-up call for the Whitecaps, and we'll want to see this out. Again, get back to those 2 banks of 4 if they can, and clog up the midfield space, not get too stretched.
Thomas Gardner now in for Vancouver, taking the place of Marco Bustos. So that caps a solid day, Mark, for Bustos for Vancouver. He's been great all afternoon.
Yeah, he's been his usual busy self, getting on the ball, causing problems. The minute he gets turned at any defense in this league, he causes problems.
A chance for Fatal here, plays it across. Diving out was Diop.
Yeah, going into a good space there, but not many runs now in the 18-yard box at this latest stage. You can see the Caps galloping back to try and get their shape back defensively. Fatal sort of just put his head down, didn't really pick out a cross there or pass. Slashed it, hoping that somebody could get on the end of it. Good defending again by DeVitt. Just ushered Zoo back off the ball nicely there.
So Mark Sean Melvin saw his clean sheet run come to an end, but saw the Slager goal. But he made an excellent save at the beginning of the second half to keep it 3-1.
Certainly did. Down to his right. Excellent save. Not much he could have done on the Slager goal. Excellent finish. The one he'll be disappointed with was the Villarreal goal in the first half. Great confidence by the LA Galaxy forward. Bit of an audacious strike there. Oh, I tell you what.
Now a chance and back in the net.
Did not look offside to me.
It was waved off. All right. Could have been the hat trick for Kyle Gregg.
Tell you what, he looks like he's held his run perfectly. It's going to be hard to tell from this. But my initial reaction was he was 2 or 3 yards onside there.
Yeah, that was tight.
But could be a little let off for LA Galaxy here. Time's ticking. As we approach the 87th minute here, Caps still continue to hold 2-goal lead.
As that will not count. Gregg with 2 already in this one. And now another whistle as the flag comes up again.
Another one. Very, very tight decision by the assistant referee. I think when he's played the pass that he looked onside. We're directly in line with it from our broadcast position here.
Diop plays the ball ahead. Melvin comes out. Gets gold mitts on it. Gets a hand from this crowd at Thunderbird Stadium.
Tell you what, all sorts of contact there, but this is where a player like Kyle Gregg, look at his attitude this late in the game with a 2-goal lead, can be so valuable to a team as they see out the game. He can hold the ball. If he can hold the ball up under pressure, really relieve any pressure on the Whitecaps back four.
Taron Campbell getting up, wearing number 61. This would be a big 3 points for Whitecaps FC. 2 behind LA Galaxy coming into play today.
With games in hand as well. Caps have had 2 games postponed due to weather. One a big thunderstorm and another on a connecting flight that was snowed in Denver.
Substitutions beginning at minutes for the LA Galaxy 2. Coming out of the match, number 56, Daniel Haber. Coming out of the match, number 29, Josh Hurley.
Oof.
Number 62, John Hastings.
Some of the defending on crosses from the Whitecaps today have been a little bit sloppy. That was an example of that from DeVitt. Last roll of the dice now for Kurt Analfo. He's going to chuck caution to the wind and throw as many bodies forward as he can.
Taron Campbell getting set to check in. Daniel Haber will take his seat. They're just about done.
Yeah. Another good shift by Haber. It's been a great addition to the Whitecaps 2 group this season. Canadian international. Another Whitecaps Academy product. Getting a little bit of a run out here at the end of the game.
And from a Whitecaps perspective, from the MLS club on down, I'm sure a big part of this program, Mark, is to not only develop these players, but also, win. And that's what this team has done so far.
I think the primary focus is to give these guys, give these young players a pathway into the MLS level. Without this environment, that bridge can be a little bit too big and make it very difficult for them to bridge that gap between youth player to MLS level. So that's the primary focus, to give those guys valuable minutes at the professional level. Second one is to get players to the MLS who are struggling for minutes or coming back from injury time.
Right.
And then the third one, and importantly, is to create a winning culture. And Whitecaps are certainly off to a good start this season in that regard. And it shows it can be done. But here's another good chance, good area here for the Galaxy. He's called a penalty. Bit of a surprise.
Oh, sense of drama late, Mark. 4-2. We'll have 5 extra minutes, by the way.
Plenty of time. And we're coming into the 91st minute here.
Well, Villarreal went down near the middle of the field. And now this is number 40 for the Galaxy, Mendiola.
Well, I need to have another look at it here, Marcus, but Mitch Perreault goes to close it down, and Fred, it's a penalty. I mean, he's late, sloppy. He's kicked right through him. I don't know why he's complaining. There can be absolutely no complaints about that. There's absolutely no reason for him to go in there. He just has to go close the space down. That gives the Galaxy a fantastic chance. And a little bit of a last seconds hope.
Trying to cut it to 1.
There's a water bottle on the pitch.
From the spot for the first time this afternoon. Villarreal will step in and find the back of the net.
Yeah, as I said, Caps can have no complaints with that. Perreault is sloppy and late on that tackle. Late in the game now. A little bit of hope for the LA Galaxy. There's only 1 goal in it. That's the closest they've been in this game since the opening whistle.
4-3, and suddenly the Kyle Gregg marker that was waved off moments ago now comes into play.
It's the 92nd minute now. Caps still have time to kill here, and the Galaxy have a bit of time to create another opportunity.
It's Villarreal's second of the afternoon. It's 4-3. That finish in minute 92, as Mark said. 3 minutes of extra time still to come. And some drama late. As Fatah Safu was battling in the corner there, ball out of play, and it'll go to the Galaxy. What does Kurt Onalfo have up his sleeve? Trying to get his club to tie this game. Kyle Gregg from 18 yards out fires it over the goal.
Yeah, good technique, just not able to keep it down. Dipping volley there, not able to challenge Diop, but you saw right, Kyle Gregg's mind was first and foremost get back and defend. Right after that strike. It's a little harsh that time. We've seen all sorts of different fouls throughout this game, but
Pirou involved once again.
Just jumps for the ball, wins the first ball.
Lena Shanahan is the Galaxy player who's down.
Now they're one thing is the Galaxy are deprived of one of their center backs. Coming forward for, well, it doesn't look like.
Oh, pardon me, that was Amaya, 73, not 72.
Yeah. Amaya wanting to come off, have a look at that eye. Not much time now.
Aiden Chung is out, so is the goalkeeper though, Diop. As the Galaxy try to create something here late. And now Thomas Gardner, who had checked in a few moments ago, getting involved physically.
Diop's a character, you can tell. He's done a couple flamboyant things in this game. Oof. Poor clearance there.
Now a little 2-on-1 here. Shot towards the goal, that was blocked. Taron Campbell had a chance. Now another one goes wide and over.
Taron Campbell, I know he's just come off in a sub, but looked very hesitant on that attack. Good run by Fatal. If he would have found him, he would have been in on goal. Left-footed player and shaped up on his left foot when possibly it was better to have dragged it back onto his right foot for that finish.
And we await
we're in the 95th
final whistle.
minute now, 95.5 minutes. Possibly a little added time for a sub, but also for the amount of time it took to do the penalty kick.
Ball played through up in the air. Galaxy pressing for the tie, knowing they're running out of time. Sent back towards midfield. Diop out. And there's the whistle. That's your match. This one's over. Vancouver Whitecaps FC2 victorious, a 4-3 victory over LA Galaxy 2. They pick up the 3 points, and with that, move to the top of the table in the Western Conference.
Yeah, you'd have to say that the Caps are thoroughly deserving of the win just based on the first 30 minutes of the game. They got out of the traps much quicker than the LA Galaxy and got themselves into a 3-goal lead. From that position, makes it a hell of an uphill climb for the LA Galaxy, although they did put on a bit
Give
of
them
a
credit
fight.
because they climbed. I can't even think of the word right now. Climbed? Is that? I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, they did. And right after they scored that goal in the first half from Villarreal on that set piece, wonderful goal, they started gaining a little bit of momentum from there. In the second half, they started like a house on fire. A couple of nice saves by Melvin, preventing them from getting even closer in the game. But you thought once the Caps got that fourth goal, making it 4-1, that it was all done and dusted. But in credit to the LA Galaxy, they continued to hang in there. Got a couple more goals back in and made it a bit of a nail-biter at the end for the Whitecaps fans.
Some drama late in this one. Jose Villarreal scoring in the penalty kick. A reminder as well, the next home match coming up for Whitecaps FC2 here at Thunderbird Stadium 2 weeks from now, Sunday, May 29th, as they take on Real Monarchs. And for all team news and ticket information, you can visit whitecapsfc2.com. And right now, first place club to come and see. After a 4-3 victory for Vancouver, jumped out to a big lead in the opening half mark, a 3-0 lead off the hop. Kyle Gregg, the captain, certainly got things started in this one. Unfortunate that he had that goal waved off at the end of the second half, but still, the captain comes away with 2 this afternoon.
Yeah, it looked like he was onside. That would have been his hat trick. But regardless, the Caps deserved their 3-0 lead. They were ruthless in front of goal, 3 gilt-edged opportunities, and then tap-ins. So the Caps have been delighted to get that far in goal. I think the only thing that they'll be a little disappointed with is they allowed the LA Galaxy to claw their way back into the game. Still, it's a fantastic result at home for the Whitecaps. They're playing against an LA Galaxy team that was top of the Western Conference coming into Vancouver. So they'll be thrilled. You see them huddled up there on the pitch, probably having a chat about some of the good, very good things they did in this game, but also some of the things they can work on. Again, it's a very young side.
Yep.
And this is a team that's learning and growing very well together. So, Alan Koch having a chat with them in a group on the pitch, he'll be delighted with this result. If he would have taken a win against the LA Galaxy 2 side coming into the game today, for sure.
Yeah, no matter which way you get it, a 4-3 victory here for the Whitecaps. Kids enjoying it. Good crowd here today as well at Thunderbird Stadium. And again, that next home game coming up 2 weeks from now, May 29th. Whitecaps FC2 will be in Portland on May the 20th, facing Timbers 2. That'll be the next game for them. And then the next home game coming up on the 29th. As we'll take a look at some of the highlights from this one, lots to choose from. Jose Villarreal, though, Mark, was busy for LA Galaxy in this matchup.
Yeah, you saw one opportunity there, whipped in at the back post. And Slager didn't attack that one, but here's a great chance again by the LA Galaxy. Partially cleared by DeVitt. Minute comes back out to him.
And then Sean Melvin, a big part of this one as well for Vancouver, too.
That one was called offside, but he did his job. It was a nice save. Great delivery by Bustos. In the end, Perreault doesn't manage to get enough on it. And here's the goal by the Vancouver Whitecaps. Picked off and started by Levi's. Gets on the end of the overlap. Good service by Bustos. Passes it back to Bustos and takes a nice first touch by the defender. Great last-ditch defending by the LA Galaxy center back, but fortunately for the Whitecaps, it dropped straight to Levi, who put it back on goal and got them their 4-1 marker.
And that was the one they needed, the eventual winner. And then Galaxy made a dramatic late. That was a great finish from Slager right there as well.
Absolutely was. And A little bit of a miscue by Seiler defensive on this defensive header, but excellent.
And then, of course, the penalty from Peru led to the drama late in the penalty kick from Villarreal.
You know, I might have been a little bit harsh on Mitch Perreault, but he absolutely doesn't have to make any contact there or even go near him. You're just inviting the referee, who's showed a bit of inconsistency throughout the game, to make a call. LA Galaxy probably would have been disappointed not to have gotten it. There was contact there in the 18-yard box. And at that stage, you're thinking, what's happening? You know, and the Whitecaps now then have thrown away a couple goal lead, but they're able to hang on, and they're worthy winners in the end.
Yeah, a little back and forth for sure. One of the stats we talked about in the opening half for the Whitecaps, Mark, was the way they finished. They were efficient with their offensive chances. Second half, the LA Galaxy, a little bit, on the other side, that was kind of their story in half number 2.
Yeah, they certainly started to get more shots, more crosses towards and in on Melvin. But in the end, they were only able to, from their 16 shots, they got 8 on goal, which is a good return, of which they cashed in 3 goals. But the Whitecaps, getting in front 3 goals, you have to tear up your game plan from the LA Galaxy's standpoint and try and create some sort of positivity in it. So really the stats tell one story, but it really was those 3, cashing in on those 3 early chances that was the difference in this game, because from a 3-0 position, very difficult for the LA Galaxy to come back and claw back from that position.
So the Whitecaps now at the top of the table in the Western Conference. Next game coming up for Vancouver, the next home match, I should say, coming up 2 weeks from now, Sunday, May 29th at Thunderbird Stadium, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Real Monarchs is the opponent. For team news and ticket information, visit whitecapsfc2.com. So the final score, Whitecaps FC 2-4, LA Galaxy 2-3. Whitecaps, best team in the West this afternoon. I am Marcus Fitzgerald. He is Mark Rogers. Thank you so much for joining us. Good afternoon from the University of British Columbia.